But let's get down to the business. So, well, LPNs, shout out to my LPNs in the building. And y'all know I promote being an LPN. I promote uh going to school to get your LPN. Y'all know I always say it was the best decision I've ever made and everything like that. And and I still stand by that. 100%. I do. I still stand by that. But something recently came across my desk. Shout out to my mama. My mama sent me this. Well, she didn't send me this article, but she told me about it, and I looked it up and I started reading the article. Now, a while ago, and I'm paraphrasing this, a while ago, it was some sort of proposal bill by Joe Biden and his team or his party to get more registered nurses in the nursing homes. They didn't say they necessarily wanted to phase out LPNs, but they wanted to get more RNs in the nursing home. And again, I'm paraphrasing. I'm going to try to find a link to that. But here's the thing. Good luck with that. Good luck with that, because most RNs don't want to work in the long-term care. In the long-term care setting, they don't want to do it. Most RNs, they have between one and six, seven patients, depending on what kind of specialty they're in the hospital. But who wants to go from a setting like that to working with 25, 30 something patients and a different variety of patients, drug addicts? Because you got the drug addicts, you got the alcoholics, you got the violent people, you got the psych, you got the dementia. You're working with a whole bunch of people all in this one space together. And it's not really divided up by areas like how it is in the hospital. You got your mother baby, you got your labor and delivery, you got your ICU, you got your med surge, you got your ER. It's not really divided up because most facilities, like long-term care facilities, are not that big. They're not that big. So a while ago, Biden had tried to introduce some sort of bill to get more RNs and everything like that. And people were worried and all that kind of stuff. And I said, good luck with that. Because number one, you're going to have to pay the RNs 200 and some odd dollars an hour. They were trying to figure out a way of how to cut the agencies out. And I said, good luck with that. You're going to have to pay them 200 some dollars an hour. And that's just not going to happen. So I don't know why. So it was a lot of LPNs hit me up. CJ, what do you think about this? Do you think that LPNs are going to be phased out of the nursing home? And I hadn't had the chance to really make my response to it. But I also wanted to run across this right here. Now, this is in my home state of Michigan. It says a new kind of worker in Michigan nursing homes could address the staff shortage. Now, it says a newly created medication aid role in Michigan will give nurses more time for other patient care under bills being considered by Governor Gretchen Whitmer. It says Michigan's nursing homes have been hobbled by too few workers, including nurses. As the state ages faster than most other states, the problem is likely to get worse. Now, a medication aid, a position created between an entry level nursing assistant and a licensed practical nurse, will be able to dispense medication. A med tech. A med tech. Now, med techs are popular in assisted livings. And here's the thing, and this is all business at the end of the day. Because what they're going to do, what they're going to attempt to do if this passes, which I'll give my opinions on that later, but what they're going to try to attempt to do is have the med aid do most of the work of the LPN, but pay them half the money. Because that's all they do in assisted living. That's all they do in assisted living. In assisted living, med techs, they do treatments. Med techs, they pass meds. Med techs even do admissions. I've even seen some med techs do admissions. Now, they're not supposed to, but they do it. At least, I don't know how it is in other states, but they do it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't, let's continue with the article. Let's continue with the article. Okay. It says faced with staffing. I'm Wi-Fi. It says faced with the staffing shortage that threatens resident care, nursing home industry leaders hope a new kind of worker could meet patient needs. Two bills now in front of Governor Gretchen Whitmer will create medication aides with responsibilities and pay, one advocate says, that will fall between an entry level nursing assistant and a licensed practical nurse. Now, I'm going to be honest how I feel about that up front. I don't support that. I don't support that because to me, it's shortcutting and it's budgeting. You're just trying to withhold the budget. I don't support this one bit. And I don't think any other nurse that works in healthcare should support it. Now, you're gonna have some lazy nurses that's all fine and dandy with that, and that's cool. But me personally, I don't support this because you're cutting into the paper. And I don't think it's gonna go through anyway because it's still gonna be a shortage. Nobody's ever satisfied, but I don't support that bill. It says a two bill package introduced with bipartisan support would allow the new medication aides to dispense routine medications in skilled nursing facilities, freeing up licensed practical and registered nurses to do more in patient care. Now, here's the thing: if somebody can come in as a medication aide and dispense medication, what the hell was the point of going to school, taking a pharmacology class for 12 or 16 or however many weeks that your pharmacology class was? What was the point of that? What was the point of that? Because I'm sure the medication aid class, if they have it, is not going to be a year long. It's probably going to be a few weeks, like most med tech classes are, which is why I don't support med techs. I don't support that because it was a lot of cases where I've seen med techs were dispensing medications that they had no idea what the medication actually did. This is why I'm not cool with this. Nurses have to go to school. Nurses have to study pharmacology. You got to study the medication. You got to study what parameters you can give the medication in. You got to study what the medication does. You got to study the effects of the medication. You got to study all that kind of stuff. And you not finna learn that in 2 to 3 weeks. Now, here's the thing: in a classroom, there were so many times where I saw when I was working in assisted living, and this is not the crap on the med techs, but I'm just being real with what I saw. It was so many times that I saw med techs in the assisted living facility giving out blood pressure medications to residents who did not need blood pressure medications. People were giving out Norvasac. People were giving out hydralazine to patients whose blood pressure was 110 or 111 over 60 something. Killing these, you could kill these patients like that. Not checking the blood pressure, not checking a blood sugar. You feel me? That's why I don't support that because what was the point of me going to school then if that's the case? I can't co-sign that. And then you're gonna make them do half the work for less the money, or most of the work for less the money. Let's see what y'all saying in the comments so far. Let's see what y'all saying. These nursing homes are homeless shelters. That's a fact with the homeless and drug addicts. Yep. I had one OD on meth yesterday. I've been an agency LPN 5 years. The only RN I see is in management or administration. That's a fact. RNs are not going to work there, but they have to keep getting you for narcotics and blood sugars. Exactly. And where I was at, the nurses, well, at the assisted living I worked at, the med techs were passing narcotics. They were passing narcotics because it wasn't a nursing home. So the regulations were different. But they were passing narcotics and they would do blood sugars. All the nurses had to do really in the assisted living was supervise. And they would have one nurse to the whole building. And they would just pretty much have to supervise. Now, if med techs called off, then they would have to hop on a cart. But it was That was the best job that I ever had. The problem that I had with the job, because I would still be there now, I was getting paid really good. I was getting a lot of hours. But the problem that I had with that job was the management was absolutely insane. It was a situation where they let somebody be a director of nursing that had no experience, that had just graduated from LPN school, and they had not had no they had not taken their NCLEX test yet. If I'm lying, I'm frying. If I'm lying, I'm frying. You said I'm so tired of the fact that sometimes we LPNs are in is that Vogue? And sometimes we are not. They have been saying LPNs are gonna get phased out. 40 years I've heard this, but we still rise. Yep, you're exactly on point with assisted living. What's the point? Send them to nursing school and make more nurses. That's what I say. They're going to pay them $20 and they are still not going to have enough people that want to work. I used to be a delegated nurse at a halfway house and I didn't know what the heck I was doing. You said she wanted to drug. Oh, you still talking about Frida. You said giving blood pressure medication without checking blood pressure. You said you beat me to it. That is so crazy. That's why you won't catch me in assisted living. Yeah, a lot. You know what? And it's crazy because I really enjoyed my assisted living job, but because they don't have to follow the same regulations that a nursing home has to follow. Sometimes you catch them doing crazy stuff, and even when because they asked me to be the DON, and I said no. I've been asked since I've been a nurse. I've been asked to be a die twice, and I've asked to be a DON once. And I've said no. I've been asked to be in management several times, and I've always turned it down. There is no amount of money that you can give me that they will be willing to give to make me go into management, to make me want to be an ADON. No, I am a floor nurse through and through. There's no amount of money you can give me. None. For the amount of stress. I know so many nursing supervisors or nurses in supervising positions that are on drugs for real because they stressed out, that are straight drunks and that are straight alcoholics. No, no. I go in, I work my set amount of days, and then I'm on somebody else's plane going to another country, enjoying my life. When I leave work, my phone is off. I don't want to be on call. I don't want to know about what happened when I'm not there. That's not my concern. I'm a floor nurse. I don't care about a title. I don't care about a title. Don't care. Don't care. Salary is just a cute word for slavery. Well, shout out to all the good DONs that we do have out there, but I'm not. I wouldn't be one of them. No, it's too much. It's too much. It says, let me see, freeing up life spectrum nurses and registered nurses to do more patient care. One of the two lawmakers who sponsored the legislation said he is considering additional legislation that would expand the role beyond skilled nursing facilities in the new year, possibly to the hospitals and other health settings. It'll never happen. It'll never happen. It'll never happen. Because all this is just they trying to cut costs. Because they know these nurses are making a bag out there. They are trying to figure out how can we save more money. Do you know how much of an insult that would be if you got somebody who only spent 2 weeks taking a medication class versus somebody who had to spend 16 weeks or however long their pharmacology class was, take a whole bunch of tests, stress out, all this kind of stuff? Do you know what kind of slap in the face that is? And see, this is what these politicians and these lawmakers don't consider when they writing up these bills. They just trying to figure out how can we save the state more money. These nurses are getting the bag. Some of these nurses are making more than the doctors. What's the real deal? How can we stop this? Let me see. Let me see. All right. It said we'll take another bite of the apple later. A Clinton Township Republican told Bridge, Michigan, he introduced the package with Donovan McKinney, a Detroit Democrat. You know what's funny to me? These people who always are trying to make laws that have to do with healthcare, most of them, if any of them, have never worked in healthcare. How is that even? That don't even make sense to me. I feel like if you are in government or if you're in you are in politics and you are going to make decisions that are based upon healthcare, you need to have some sort of healthcare background. I believe they should make it an incentive for nurses or whoever, doctors or whoever the case, people in healthcare to become representatives, to become officials, to become politicians or whatever the case, and help write these laws when they come up with it. And maybe that does happen and I just don't know, but it doesn't seem like it to me. It doesn't seem like it to me. Um, let's see. In addition to addressing the staffing shortage, the new role will create a career stepping stone and greater pay for Michigan nurse aides, currently among the lowest paid healthcare workers. Or you could just raise the nurse aide pay. You could just raise the CNA pay, and you could just raise the LPN pay. Maybe people have more of an incentive to come to work instead of trying to go into the logistics of creating a whole new job that don't need to be created. Just pay your staff more and senior seniors or send whoever they want to go to school for free. And you'll have more nurses and you'll have more people to fill these roles. Similar legislation in Ohio allowed nurses aides to train as medication aides, earning up to $6 more an hour. Shelley Berryman, director of operations at Meta Lodge, a chain of Michigan nurses facilities, a chain of Michigan nurses facilities told lawmakers of the House of Regulatory Reform Committee in October. Both unions that represent healthcare workers in Michigan, the Michigan Nurses Association, and the first, and I'm sorry, an American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees opposed the bill, but neither explained their reasons at the hearing. Yeah, because it's stupid. Because it's dumb. That's the reason. It's stupid. That's why they opposed it. A spokesperson for the MNA said Tuesday that the union had concerns about the impact on patient safety. There you go. The American Nurses Association, in a 2021 brief about medication aids, noted that dispensing medication safely is much more than a technical process. A nurse's clinical knowledge, experience, and understanding of the patient's condition and indication for medication serves as a safety valve. Still, the association also has noted that using such staff as a result of delegation and direction by a registered nurse is appropriate and safe. If you are in a long-term care facility and you already are overseeing 20 to 30 patients, it's physically impossible, or you're going to waste a lot of time being over the medication aid circle, trying to make sure that they dispense this medication properly, trying to make sure that they know the parameters of such medication, trying to make sure that they do things right, trying to make sure that they take a blood pressure, because it's nurses that do shortcuts. So you're trying to make sure that the medication aid do everything right, and you're trying to make sure they take a blood pressure before every blood pressure medication and insulin and all that kind of stuff. Listen, bro. No, sir. You'll never get done. It says across the country, more than half of nursing facilities report now limiting new admissions because of lack of staffing. According to the American Health, and this is why LPNs, and because even if you do get these, let's just say you do get these medication aids in the building, is that going to stop the call loss? Is that going to stop the people who just simply don't care? No, it's not going to stop nothing. So you created a whole new position because you got medication aids in assisted living, and it's still short there. So it's really not going to help nothing. Oh, I know she ain't say that. I know she ain't say that. That's crazy. Let me see. Michigan nursing facilities have lost about 17% of their workforce since 2020, leaving about 9,000 jobs empty. Richie Farron, vice president of government service, told the committee. That's why I say, listen, if y'all don't know, let's just say you are an LPN in another state, and this is why I don't think I don't think LPNs are going nowhere. I'm pretty sure LPNs are not going nowhere. And this is why I say if y'all in another state and y'all getting low pay, come to Michigan, because Michigan, to me, is one of the best paid states for LPNs. I really do believe it. And the taxes ain't that bad. And they got a lot of openings. Michigan nurse facility lost about 17% of their workforce in 2020, leaving about 9,000 jobs empty. Government service told the committee. I have been working in this field for more than 25 years, and I've never seen staffing shortages like this of Meta Lodge. Yes, sir. And you're going to continue to see it. As it stands now, residents' medications are prescribed by physicians and delivered prepackaged to nursing facilities where they are stored in a medication cart. Only LPNs and registered nurses can administer medications. Newly created medication aides will train to deliver those medications and focus on medication administration, reducing medication errors, and freeing up more highly trained nurses to focus on other patient care, according to HCAM. I disagree. I think you're going to have more medication errors. I think you're going to have more medication errors because if you have somebody else is doing a nurse's job, one, to me, it gives the nurse another opportunity to slack off. The ones that do, you got a lot of nurses that don't slack, but the ones that do, you give them an opportunity to slack off more. Oh, they got it. Oh, they got it. And those of y'all that work in long term care, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Let me see. Let me go back up. Let me see. Let me see. You said you will be overworked in a salary position. Said sometimes the pay isn't worth the trouble. We make more money as hourly workers. Don't call me. That's a fact. In some assisted living facilities, they have them doing CNA work on top of med pass. Exactly. I remember Hillary Clinton saying nurses are overpaid maids. Woo. They are. Nope. I wonder if these lawmakers' family is in the nursing facilities when they trying to change the law. When they told you there was going to be a nursing shortage in 2020 for decades before it happened. Man, only nurse aides with at least 2,000 hours of experience in the skilled nursing facility in a 2-year period will be permitted to train. They will be authorized to only administer regularly scheduled medication, the day-to-day drugs that keep our seniors alive. Like that simple. These aides will also not administer IV medication or controlled substances. I don't know about y'all nursing homes, but in my nursing homes, 98% of the populations are on narcotics. 98% of the population, they're on narcotics. So what would be the point for this medication aid to go around past all these meds and I gotta come right back around and pass all these narcotics? What would be the point? If you working in rehab, a lot of them rehab people are coming in on IVs. So I gotta administer the IV medication and I gotta pass all the narcotics. I might as well just pass the rest of the medication so I can at least know it's been passed correctly.